Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So towards the end of last month, we found out that Microsoft had officially extended Windows 10's Extended Security Updates ESU support until October of 2027. And as I mentioned in the video that I posted on that, which I'll leave linked if you'd like some more information, Microsoft's initial plan was to give consumers only 1 year of extended security updates. Now that has been doubled. And some, including myself, have even said that Microsoft will further that ESU support to 2028, which I do think is possible at this stage. Now, in regards to this, I personally think that Microsoft extending the ESU support to 2027 and even beyond that is going to stall the adoption rate of Windows 11. And I think it's kind of goes without saying. And one of my reasons for saying that is if I head to a poll I conducted a couple of days ago on the channel, asking in regards to extending the Windows 10 ESU program. So what are you doing? Out of the 958 votes currently cast, the majority, 36%, said you are staying on Windows 10 using the ESU, or you are just staying on Windows 10 without the ESU. And then 31% said you are moving or have already moved to Windows 11. And 24% said you are ditching Windows altogether for another OS like Linux or Mac. Now this is interesting because 36% staying on Windows 10 ESU and 31% moving to Windows 11. That's very close. And I personally think that's how it's going to be going forward. Where I do think the market share of Windows 10 and Windows 11 is going to start stabilizing. Because if we head over to the latest StatCounter survey results that I posted just the other day, and these are the latest for June 2026, I'll leave the video I posted on the desktop Windows version market share. I'll leave that video linked as well. As mentioned previously, Windows 10's market share went up about 2% as far as I can remember, and Windows 11's dropped about 2% from May to June 2026. So already we are seeing the adoption rate of Windows 11 stalling already. And for a lot of users, the reason for that, why I think it's going to stall the adoption rate of Windows 11, is if you are running a perfectly usable Windows 10 device that cannot be upgraded to Windows 11, many folks, especially in the times we live, don't have the cash or the finances to run out and buy a new Windows 11 PC. So it makes the most sense to stick with Windows 10 and your perfectly working hardware running the ESU, which obviously, as we have posted on, gets those security fixes until the expiration date. Now, with all this said and done, I personally also think that it's going to be inevitable that users will eventually upgrade to Windows 11, especially as older hardware starts breaking and components start breaking down due to wear and usage and just time itself. But the current RAM crisis, due to AI's so-called heavy appetite for computing power, I think isn't going to make that jump any easier. Because hardware prices, as you may well know, are steadily increasing and becoming unaffordable for most people. So that's another reason why I think folks are going to stick with Windows 10 running the ESU. And it's also been suggested that Microsoft should continue to support Windows 10 and Windows 11 simultaneously. Basically, having one standard version that has all the bells and whistles suitable for any hardware, and the other being a fully functional and safe bare-bone budget version with diminished capabilities. Good marketing obviously would be essential to avoid any misunderstandings with running two versions of Windows, obviously for different markets and different user case scenarios. But nonetheless, that's what I think. I personally think Windows 11's growth and market share and adoption is going to be stalled with the extension of the ESU for Windows 10. Let me know your thoughts down below. I would be interested to hear. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.